Hello, I'm going to play 4 hymns for the second Sunday of Easter. Now, when we sat down a few months ago, Denise and Sally and me, we sat down and chose the hymns for the upcoming months. We only got as far as Easter Sunday. So the upshot of that is that these are not the hymns that had been chosen in advance. We haven't got that far yet, and fairly obviously we're not allowed to meet now and choose them. So instead I'm going to play a couple that I've chosen, and I've asked the choir to nominate some of their favourites as well, so a couple of them are choir favourites. If you have any favourites that you'd like me to play, do send me an email or send the parish office an email and they'll pass it on. The first one is my personal favourite Easter hymn. This is Christ the Lord is Risen Again, to the tune Württemberg. I first heard this tune at the Church of Saint-Sulpice in Paris. Saint-Sulpice is a fabulous place. It's not a normal parish church in a lot of ways, a very, very big parish church. I think it's the second largest church in Paris after Notre Dame, but you know, a fairly normal size congregation. They have the most fabulous organ in the world by the famous organ builders Charlbury, built in the mid-19th century. I think 5 keyboards, 5 manuals, and never really changed since. So the role of organist at Saint-Sulpice is one of the most prestigious organ roles in the world. The organist there is a chap called Daniel Roth, and when Anna and I went to Paris a good few years ago, must be at least a decade ago, we went one Sunday morning to Saint-Sulpice. We heard him play, and this was the hymn that he played. Now, 2 things about that. One was that he did an improvisation of wonderful music between each verse. You'll be pleased to know I'm not going to do that. But the one thing I have picked up from him is that he changed the rhythm slightly in the first line, the first 2 notes in fact, to make it dotted. That's not what it says in the hymn book, but I think it sounds rather good, so I'm going to do that. The second hymn is Now the Green Blade Riseth. This is very much one of the choir's favourites. We usually sing this up at the high altar during communion, sometime during the Easter service. It's too good not to have here. I'm not sure if the microphone picked that up, but there was a bird happily singing the chorus along with us there. So it's good to know I have a small congregation of at least one little bird. Right, the next one is Now is Eternal Life, which is a cheerful Easter hymn to the tune Christchurch. The last hymn is another choir request, and this is none less than Immortal, Invisible. There is a last verse arrangement for this which I usually play at St Mary's. The only slight problem is that my book of last verse arrangements is sitting locked up in the church at the moment, so I'm going to have to see if I can remember it. That will be helped if I remember which key it was in, but I think it was G major, so we shall have a go. Hope you enjoyed singing along to those, and if you have any requests for next week, anything you would like me to play, then do send me an email or send an email to the parish office and they will pass it on. For the voluntary at the end, I'm going to play a set of variations on the 17th century hymn O Filii et Filiae, O Sons and Daughters, which is a wonderful Easter hymn. These are variations by the American composer Rebecca Groom Velde. They are called a vignette. I'm not quite sure why, but it's a set of variations, some of them lively and sparky, some of them quite meditative and freeform.